Isn't just engineering. It's aeronautical engineering.
Yeah.
You can build jet turbines.
Well, I mean, there's a reason I left engineering, you know, and they're made,
at the end of your CV, under interests, you say mechanics.
Yes, absolutely.
Is it that difficult a thing to put up?
It's not. It's the environment. The whole day one is indicative of what you're put into and the situation that's happening. And really, I mean, I could never imagine that anything like, you know, when I used to play with technical Lego at the age of 3, I would have put up that stand in 20 minutes, you know, on my own.
Out of curiosity, Michael, what state were the pop-ups in when they came back to the hotel?
I don't think they'll be doing much more popping up.
Well, after the break, we'll phone Niamh Humphreys really just to check that she's learned how to use the phone. And we'll have a closer look at the winning team to see what it was that drove their ingenious sales strategy. Back in 3. You're very welcome back to The Apprentice, You're Fired, and it's time to have a look at the winning team. Conor Pope, did anybody stand out for you? Did you see real talent among the winners?
It's really hard to assess them because Carl's team, frankly, were so useless that it's really hard to judge. I think David Cashman, he's one to watch because he's very cute from the off. And you could tell that he'd put you in a position where you didn't want to be, and he'd manipulated the whole scenario to get himself out of the spotlight and you into the spotlight. And I think that was ultimately your undoing. I think Barry Caesar Hunt has one of the best names of any Apprentice contestant ever.
It's Dave Cashman
and Barry Caesar Hunt. Now, Will might do okay, but beyond that, none of them really seem to excel. But again, that's because Cahill's team were so rubbish.
Michael, you got to set this task. Your view of the winning team. Who stands out?
I would consider them lucky. You know, neither team did anything wonderful from a Carlton point of view. We didn't get out there enough. I think the corporate target was misplaced.
How do you mean the corporate target was misplaced?
Well, you know, trying to get an appointment in an afternoon, on a Friday afternoon with the head of Nike is not something that we can do, and we're in the business full-time. Come
here. From having spent so much time with the guys, because I assume in the house you had sort of teamed up with the guys believing that's the team you're going to be in. Who do you rate and why?
There's a couple of different characters. Very, very good for different reasons. Conor's already mentioned Barry Caesar Hunt, and aside from his name, he's got a good head on his shoulders.
Is he not hyper-aggressive?
He's not. He's very, very straightforward, and in sitting down and talking to the guy, you will not find him in any way hyper-aggressive. He's very determined. He's strong, and he always has a goal at the end of what he does. He really doesn't do things for no reason whatsoever, and I like that about the guy. Jamie is also a very, very good guy, and he's come through a couple of tough years as a developer and somebody who's built. And, you know, he's seen a huge downturn in his own personal business and fortunes there. But he's come through it. He's smiling. He's a very, very positive guy and likes to work. Will is a good guy too. Will is the youngest of them, and, you know, when you spend time with them, you can see that. When you have conversations with them, you can see that. But Geraldine's right. Absolutely, that guy has got bag loads of potential.
I don't know if you noticed it, but in the boardroom itself, there is a bit where Will goes in and decides that he can celebrate victory, but nobody else can. Have a look at this. This is the many and varied faces of Will.
Elevate did €1,650, and they spent €36 on props, namely balloons.
Almost double, Fusion. So, well done, Elevate. You're this week's winner. And to celebrate your good fortune, I've arranged for you to go on an evening cruise and supper, courtesy of GoSailing.ie. A wonderful little trip, because tomorrow evening you'll step aboard a 54-foot yacht in Dunleary Harbour. Yes. Well done, lads. Well done, buddy.
My God, it's genius. It actually works. By the way, this year we are sponsored by No Nonsense Car Insurance, and we figured that it would be the perfect opportunity to do a no nonsense clip of the week. And first out of the traps is Niamh Humphreys with her phone technique. Now, just before we play this, going back to something that Conor checked earlier, Bill did say that these are the 16 brightest people that he could find.
01.
How do you want me to do it?
I see myself as somebody that leads by example, practices what they preach, and is not afraid to get stuck in and do what I ask other people to do as well.
Okay, again. 087, sorry.
No, you're fine.
087.
My attention to detail would have been something, I suppose, down through the years that I may have needed to perfect. And I do believe that I mastered that over the last couple of months, that my attention to detail is now impeccable.
That's the number we just dialed.
I put the wrong number in. Look at it. I put 1 digit wrong, yeah.
Whether you're on the phone to a customer or you're talking to somebody internally, keep it very clear, very concise and very professional. So they're very clear on what you're looking for.
Hello, who am I speaking to? Hello? Hello? Hello?
I don't really get intimidated. I take everything in bite-sized chunks and I deal with that and I move on and I learn from it and I move on.
Okay, we have to be quicker. We have to be... Sorry, I don't mean that.
Well, then you should learn to use the phone then, if that's the case. I don't mean that in a bad way, but do you know what I mean?
Cathal, did you not think to take everyone aside before the task, line them up and say, prove to me that you know how to dial a phone? Is that not just a basic thing that you have to do before you send someone out cold calling?
Yeah, I think yet another oversight on my part. I think I would have figured out that Bill and his gang would have had that one figured out before, check the details and that. But definitely a whoopsie-daisy moment, yeah.
This is one of the things that I want to check with you guys. Geraldine, when they went into the boardroom, Cathal was very good at saying, yep, okay, I made a mistake, learn from that, all that. And sitting beside him is somebody who couldn't dial a telephone. Would he have been better to just go on the attack? Say he did his best, but he was let down by his sub-PM?
Yeah, definitely, because you would have had a leg to stand on. Niamh wasn't. She didn't have a notion what she was at all day. So had you pointed out her faults, I suppose, you had a leg to stand on. You had got ammunition and you didn't use it.
It was the first thing that Niamh said was, listen, last night I was elected as Deputy PM and I'd like to put myself forward in that again. And I said, great, absolutely, I have an ally here, so I said I can work with this. And what I said to Bill when he asked why did I bring Niamh back in is because I said, of course I was going to jump at that opportunity. I've been thrown into a very, very strange situation here.
It does have to be said, Niamh is not the only one that we're going to have to keep an eye on as the weeks go by, because Bill was not a happy bunny when they came back into the boardroom, because they had decided, as you saw, to go into a Renault dealership, Bill's Renault dealership, to sell them hotel vouchers to a man who owns a hotel. When they then faced him in the boardroom, he asked what seemed like a fairly simple question. The guys struggled to give him an answer.
First sale of the day. I think we've kind of found our niche now, so there's going to be a big push now on just going into places. Leave them see who we are, see that we're well dressed, well presented, and get FaceTime with them, and I think the evening is going to be a hell of a lot stronger for us now.
Which bright spark thought it was a good idea to visit my garage?
I thought it was a bad idea personally.
If we fit in airside Ford and airside Renault before we have to be back in Europa.
I can't fit in airside Renault. You can't go there.
Why not? I would definitely do it.
I would definitely do it.
Yeah, let's do it. They're right next door.
Renault. We'll go to Renault.
He'll take pride in the fact that we're sold to his own staff.
Yeah.
Did you see my name, 12 feet long, on the garage? No?
We did.
You did? And you still thought it was a good idea to go in? Say something. Does it not strike us?
I suppose, Bill, the way we were looking at it is everybody was a potential customer to us today.
Including me?
It's oh so quiet.
Do you think that was a flaw?
Definitely, yeah.
So do I.
So still.
Cathal.